Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be map number 3 here. Second match of day 2 at DreamHack Masters in Marseille. It's Mousesports versus NiP. The train is coming up.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, sorry, you got me off guard there. Train is coming up. It's going to be great. I'm excited for this third map. Full series, we've seen Mousesports dominate one. We've seen NiP dominate one. So it's kind of all up in the air at this point, isn't it?
It is going to be, I think, a bit of a crazy game. Like it could have been much quicker for NiP. They could have already finished at 16-6 if they just, you know...
Can't complain too much. 16-10 isn't that bad.
No, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But, you know, just in case anyone was wondering, it was kind of Mousesports trying to climb back into the game.
Yeah.
And they just couldn't. So I think Train's going to be a very even battleground. I think it's going to be fun.
I mean, overpass wasn't pretty for Mousesports at all. That's kind of the thing that's kind of scary. Because remember, they won the pistol round in the first half, and then went down 5-10, and then just kind of got blanked from there for some time, which is worrisome. So we'll have to see what they can bring out here on Train. This is one of those where you just hope that the double op setup for Mousesports. If you have Chris, if you have Oscar using that, it's so deadly. The question for NiP would be, do they ever want to switch into a double op setup? Would Dennis pick it up? Because we know Forrest isn't going to do it. We know Gavrite's not going to do it. So you have Draken.
Here's the real question, Moses. Who are you going to go with for this one?
Ooh. I'm going to go... You know what? I'm going to be wild. I'm going to go NiP.
Oh.
I'm going to live life on the edge.
See, I was hoping you'd say Mouse because I'm going to go NiP as well.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Breaking out the old fan club hats from 2013?
Exactly. Back to the roots. It's been a while since I've had people complain about that, but I feel like we can bring it back.
Yeah.
Knife round is well underway, and obviously Mousesports, apart from Overpass, have just been looking like a really good team going into the tournament, during the tournament, and it wouldn't be a complete shock if they were able to crush NiP on this map. But
there's literally no logical reason for us both to go for NiP, but we're going to do it anyways.
That's it.
Yep.
Logic is heavily overrated. I know many people who don't use it at all, and their lives are fine.
Most of the people we run into in our line of work.
Yeah, they do just fine. So, I mean, something I think to look out for on this map is, I think, just how aggressive the CT side likes to be. I feel like some teams never play aggressive CT side on this map for whatever reason. Yeah. I think the ones that do generally are more fun to watch. I think they have a higher success rate.
Oh, I think the big thing to watch for in terms of aggression is how many times is the CT team going to take over ladder room. And then outside of that, you're always going to mix up, a round where you have a round or two where someone pushes towards Ivy on the CT side, tries to control an angle with the AWP, a round or two where someone pushes, up a ramp and tries to get a pick there. But the main point where you're going to see consistent aggression will likely be the ladder room, especially if Oscar is going to use a shotgun.
Which, you could fear might happen. Sunny pushing through the smoke. That's very dangerous. Missing a couple of shots. And Oscar goes down. Great start. Drake in to follow it up. Dennis is gone, but Chris needs a little bit more, and they're coming from every angle. He's trying to reload in time. He's going to barely have it, but they're still circling his position. Rob's only just shown up for the party. He gets a headshot somehow. Turned around, and now it's Drake in a 1 versus 2. I have no idea how they managed to stabilize that situation. The bomb is out there. Draken, how does he fight his way out? Now they're going to come try and see if they can go for the double peek. Waiting for him indeed. Looking for the headshot, and he's going to get shut down. What a turnaround for Mousesports. They should have lost that round. I don't understand how NiP hit all the shots they needed. They had a great hit. I mean, that was basically just a very simple walk out of mid, one smoke between the trains. They hit all the shots they needed to get to the train, and then all of a sudden when Robson and Chris are the last two alive, the guns from NiP just stopped working, stopped connecting. They couldn't get anything from there. No one was trying to push up close and get the advantage with the Glock. And they just gave Chris J all the time in the world at the back of that bomb train to casually take some pop shots. Scout on Drake, and he'll try and create something in mid. Goes for the jump, spots one out, has some information. And Chris is already relocated. Meanwhile, Forrest and Dennis going to challenge out towards Ivy. All's pretty quiet, all things considered. NiP has a pretty decent spread across the map. They have control of box halls. Get Right knows no one's pushing there, so plenty of time for these Deagles and the Scout to be patient, see if they can get lucky. A bit of a slow second round. Nobody willing to risk anything. I guess Mousesports don't need to, but NiP trying to get the maximum amount out of the upgraded weaponry.
Well, the tough part for NiP, they don't have any nades, so you have to rely on the Deagle and the scouts to get some kind of a kill, and the fact that they're not like peeking and applying pressure and getting tags with these Deagles is going to make it so much more difficult because you have to rely on some really fortunate, like a 1 a scout headshot. You can't really, there's no one softened up enough that you can just have an easy cleanup. Sonny's going to tap away out in the open, and Chris J, no troubles there. And all across the map, the kills go the way of Mousesports. All 5 players going to survive. And it's 2-0.
Not bad at all. Just a slow beginning to that round, and eventually they don't really get much out of it. 3 kills for NiP in the first 2 rounds, so last time they had a slow beginning, didn't really work out so well on NiP. They had a hard time coming back into it, and they struggled for the economy for a really long time. On Train, on the T side, should be able to do a bit more, but...
It can be a very similar scenario, can it? I mean, those are like 2 maps where on the T side, sometimes if it starts to feel stifling, like, if you lose the pistol, like, it feels like you have 1 opportunity, really, on the T side to get something going to kind of break the economy. Look at Oscar. No shotgun in his hand, but he still wants to farm, and he does it successfully with 2 kills, but you're going to likely only have like 1 to 2 chances if you lose pistol round throughout the entirety of the TF to kind of break your economy and be able to like string 3 rounds together. Sometimes they're easier, sometimes they're more difficult, but you have to be able to actually eventually break the money if you want to put together a good T side that's going to give you something into the second half.
That's very true, and that's something to watch for. Just how low does the Mousesports economy dip? Are they going to be close to that eco territory? Now, they did lose 1. Could have been a double kill there at the end for Draken, but didn't really work out that way. All AKs all across the board for the NiP team. And we'll see what Mousesports can bring us. Oscar's already there with the AWP. No shotgun action yet. Maybe they just told him not to.
I would have. That would have been the first thing I said between maps. Yeah, right.
Wouldn't have asked politely.
No, not at all. Good find from Get Right around the edge of the smoke. Rop's willing to challenge there, which is going to force Oscar to rotate over with that AWP. And he's pretty committed deep into the bomb site, which means he can't help out in the yard, which is probably why you see someone like Sunny pushing up in towards Team A, and you see that kind of aggressive stances, so you can get kind of a more early warning system going on. Like if Sunny falls here, there's still a long way to the bomb site for NiP, so the rotations can have more time to come in. That might be a bit too bold for Chris, though.
Really good timing. The smoke disappearing. Draken certainly ready for it. Stiko gets a little bit of a spot in. Some time has been bought here for Mousesports. I mean, that's all good and well, but there's still 2 men down. Sorry, Sunny trying to see if he can be a bit aggressive and didn't really do enough in that scenario. They're gonna try and see if they can get into the B bomb site, and Oscar's here. This might be the only chance really for Mousesports to hold on to this round. This is Oscar. That's 1 great shot on Rez, but the bomb is being planted, and that should almost be enough here. Very, very hard to retake. Sunny's low on health. Stiko has a UMP. Gets a kill on Draken regardless. Should be NiP's round.
I think they know that Dennis is still locked into the bomb site. Oscar's had him trapped there. This is getting scary. It's getting sketchy, and Get Right's still alive. Sunny's here, spamming through the smoke. The return bullets don't connect. There it is, finally. 2-on-2, though, and no kits. This round is over now, and Oscar never really committed to that retake, and that's wise of him from range with the op, just trying to offer what help he could, but with no kits, he just wants to save that for the next round, as there will be another buy coming out for Mousesports.
I was getting very worried there for a minute, because NiP had that whole thing set up just perfectly, but they give away a couple of kills, and that can get a little bit worrisome.
It was largely, I guess, the quote-unquote bonus round that we talk about, where there was some UMP still on the Mousesports side of things.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to be okay if you're Mousesports with what kind of happened, because you had so many players still sitting on like 6,000. I mean, look at this after the buy here, and you can see even Chris J. This is a trend of the CT side for Mousesports. They're not investing everything they have right off the bat. They want to make sure that they're still building an economy, so willing to give up some flashbangs. Willing to give up some utility.
Rez forced to use the smoke. He was waiting to see if he could avoid it, but not going to be this time. Double AWP. Really early on in the game. Sometimes it gets sort of drawn into the game later on when you're having trouble, but Mousesports just going straight for it. And that is pretty much what you talked about going into the game, that might be something that they're going to rely on. Nice little boost, and the Scout actually does a fair bit of damage, but had that been an AWP, that would have been a great early kill.
Oh, look at the setup here for Mousesports. This is beautiful. The pop flash in. You can see Sunny getting close. Chris J had the angle with the AWP, so no one from NiP can do anything, and they're keeping up the pressure. Drake, and that is a very weak weapon to take these fights with. A lot of utility being exchanged.
How's GetRight got down here?
This is beautiful. When does he pounce, actually? Rops has no idea what's about to truck him in the side of the head if GetRight turns this corner.
This is very sneaky. They are called NiP, but still, this is more than I was expecting. Normally, someone would be watching for this. I mean, Robs might even be able to see it from up here, but he hasn't so far, and now he's calling in the rest of the troops. 25 seconds, not a lot of time. GetRight starts it off, but he's not going to win the fight. Robs somehow comes out on top, and Dennis is going to be going down. Oh no, that's a big crumble for NiP, and they just don't have time now.
They gave everything up, everything they had to the outer bomb site for that play to come in, and now the ops are just going to be way too strong. Oscar and Chris J combined for one each. GetRight was positioned just to pick off the rotator, just to pick off the player coming from the outer bomb site to the inside, and missed his chance. I'm not quite sure how that engagement went down. It was Chris J, but apparently they're missed shot, and he was able to get back into connector. And obviously, it's a tough call if you're GetRight when you move into the bomb site. We could see that Rops was essentially, depending on the timing, a free kill. But GetRight obviously can't know that.
No, that's very unfortunate. Making that kind of call, obviously you're expecting to be able to open it up. And he was just waiting for a long time looking at the C connector, and he didn't see anyone rotate back. So he probably did think, well, no one's holding it, so
yep.
They're either holding really far back, or there's one person close, and that's fine. I'll take that fight. Not really such a bad call, but
no, it's a very clever way to find a kill, and you like to see that kind of initiative out of GetRight. You like to still see him being confident and making some kind of risky plays. And in another round, another map, that works. Another match. Hope we see it later. It's going to be hard to pull that one off twice, isn't it? Like, Rops is going to be very, very aware. That's kind of one of those, you only got one bullet in the chamber type thing, and he's just used it now.
Yeah, definitely true. Rez, using the fact that the shot was missed, trying to get out. Ooh, he's going to get a headshot on Oscar. That's not bad at all. And Sunny went down as well. Chris replying well at the moment, and that's a triple for him. No one even touching him at the moment. So bomb is down, and GetRight's on a bit of a flanking mission. He does only have a Glock, though, so...
Yeah, but he is the lurk god.
You're saying you think he could do this, Moses?
No, but... Oh, he's actually just running the whole way. Yeah, it wasn't very godlike at all, was it?
Oh.
I expected him to get one. I'm not going to lie to you. I did expect one kill out of him.
Sneak in one good kill there. So, bit of a shame. Good opening in that round for NiP, but not enough to have that much of an impact.
The big obstacle they have to overcome now is the double op setup. How do you get past Chris J and Oscar with that? Oscar's not messing around with the shotgun anymore. He just went for the big green right off the bat, and he's just laying down death. So if you're the ninjas, you've got to find a way to keep these guns out of their hands. That's what I'm saying. There's only one opportunity usually on this T side. Chris pushed up halfway, legs it. The M4 turns around, gets taken down, and there's no way to let Chris out of this one. And there's Dennis flying around the corner. They might have just done it at least for this round, but Oscar's coming up next. He goes down as well in force with 2 kills. Surely they've sealed it here. Rops in a 1 versus 4. Gonna go down 5-2. And NiP need to keep that victory up. They have the money actually starting to run down low, especially if Mousesports goes back for a double up. So this might be that one chance they have to kind of break the economy and close the gap and maybe even take over the lead.
Yeah, I agree. This definitely is the round where if it's gonna happen, it's gonna have to be now. Huge opening for NiP to crack Mousesports' economy and get a lot of rounds on the board here in the first half. They did not slow down in that push at all. They just kept pushing, and that was exactly what they needed to do. So you like to see that. You want to see more of it out of NiP. We've had a couple of scenarios in the past where they have slowed it down, where they have been a little bit hesitant. Not this time. Draken is going to be taken down by Chris J, who is playing one hell of a game on Train right now. Absolutely doing a fine job. It's going to be Rez to reply on Sunny. And now it's a 4-on-4.
Well, Chris knows he's got one locked on the left side. That Molotov going to put him forward. This is an aggressive play, and he had to hit that shot. Now it's Stico as well getting aggressive behind his own smoke, but the timing, Force just shoots right through it, so two Mousesports players overextending and getting punished. Now Oscar's left in no man's land, so is Rops on top of the train. How do they manage this? It's all down to Oscar, and shot from behind, Dennis. Add 2 more kills to his tally coming out of Ivy and NiP. They've done it. There's no more money left. Everyone for Mousesports sitting at about 2K. So now it gets easier for NiP, and now if they can just prevent that money, that economy from building back up for the Mousesports side, then all of a sudden they can have a very good T-half.
I just love the fact that every time we cut to Dennis' camera view, he's just laughing, just having a really good time. Great stuff. 5-3 now, leading into the 9th round. Finally, some positive development coming in from NiP. As you said, if they can just keep up this wave and ride it for just a little bit, this first half is going to look a lot more encouraging.
I think we're going to see Mousesports kind of emphasize an Ivy defense when they get the guns back in their hands. We've seen NiP and we've seen Dennis and Force kind of crack this part of the map open. Look at all the damage that's been dealt. Actually, this is a bit scary. These pistols can do some work. There's still a player in the back halls, and that's the bomb on Draken, and he's got to fall all the way back. Still a lot of range for Rez and Get Right with these AK-47s. Only Stico's been able to salvage one. Bob's got to be careful, though, and actually Draken, he almost loses that fight, recovers nicely. But some softened up opponents, and this isn't out of the realm of possibility for this 1v3.
Yeah, as long as the bomb is not down, if he can just find isolated kills, not take too much damage, he can sort of slowly trade his way back into the round. But if they all stack on top of him and they get the bomb down, then that's going to be a little bit different. Get Right waiting. Does see one. Stico, can he get the second? Tries for the spray. He actually does almost transfer onto Rez. That's so close, but not close enough. Rez will take him down for a double of his own, and it will be a 5-4 scoreline. That was scary. That's
a really good effort. That transfer out of the third player as well. Didn't see Get Right initially, but recovers nicely even without the armor. This one right here, I thought one of those bullets was going to land. Good job from Rez. You saw kind of the eyebrow wag, and we've got it back. The shotgun, the auto shotgun on Oscar. He's got to get aggressive, though. He's at the bomb train right now, and you know he just wants to get into a ladder, but look at this play for Draken. And again, towards Ivy we go. They've been so successful here, and they wipe it all out again. Oscar now, his chance with the shotgun, can only get one pump off, and that's it.
Yeah. Dennis is just running across the map right now, and he can't be stopped. I mean, having him plow the way through and just sort of clear it all out is brilliant.
It's, you've really got to emphasize that as Mousesports. You cannot just, your Ivy defense cannot just be a sieve the way it is right now. It can't be this easy for NiP to take over that part of the map and just steamroll you. That's going to make the rest of the outer bomb site so difficult to hold.
What a change this is all of a sudden in the first half, because I thought Mousesports were looking really solid. I don't think we ever answered the question of what do you do against the Mousesports double AWP setup. But now that they don't have the money for it, the question sort of answers itself, you know. And that's obviously great news for NiP, so keep it up, I suppose.
I mean, you have two things. It's just so tough on this map to pull them off because each of the bomb site is so much distance. You either have to, just do an execute towards the inner outer bomb site and make them retake with the ops, or you do what NiP did and you went towards somewhere like Ivy, where if you can get down there, if you can just get the one kill. I mean, remember as well, they kind of got bailed out because the round that they really kind of overcame the double ops was when Chris J got aggressive, right? Him and I forget who his teammate was at the time, pushed down Ivy, got the leg shot, and then his teammate died. The rifler died trying to turn around and support, and then Chris J died right after that. And ever since then, they haven't been able to really, stem the tide over towards Ivy.
There's going to be a solution for that. There has to be. It's weird because they keep stacking up in Ivy, but they don't push around the corner, and then they just get completely locked in. They can't really get out. They don't have any cover there. It's just all a bit weird.
Bombarded with nades. You always have to be self-conscious about a flashbang coming over. Are you going to dodge it? Draken's got a perch with the op, but going to get smoked off. And Rops with the soul rifle. And here's the CZ. Only one kill for Sunny. And NiP letting Rez just deathmatch through the smoke. Feeling mighty confident. Stico's still alive outside in Old Hell. Hasn't been cleared yet. It is now.
Yeah, Rob's waiting at the top of the Pop Dog ladder, just hoping that maybe someone's going to walk into it. Get right, certainly thinking about it. It's going to be an easy enough kill. Trading out with the AK. Ooh, yeah. He's going to try and back off as soon as he can. You can shoot through some part of this, but I think it has to be a little bit further in. Rob's trying to see if he can maybe get the kill on Draken, but it's not going to happen. Instead, it will be another round for NiP. 6-5. They're back in the lead, and this is looking so much better. What a big turn.
Yeah, worth the shot to try and get that NiP right at the end for Robs. But look at this. Look at the confidence now coming out of Rez, just swinging out of the smoke, clearing out everyone. Easy shots all day long. So 6-5, NiP have finally taken the lead. And you do love to see that.
Love to see it.
Double op is back, though, so one more round that Mousesports are going to have, or excuse me, NiP is going to have to get over this obstacle, this hurdle. And if Mousesports can't stop them now, it might be insurmountable moving forward.
Yeah, big investment. They're going to have to get a massive return for this to really pay out at the end. Rob's playing down on the floor of the bomb site, which is a position that can be very good, but really only as long as you have somebody covering the high ground. And Oscar, if he gets somehow flashed before he can help out Robs, this is not going to end up really well at all. In fact, he's going to get shot down very low, and the smoke is right on top. So now Robs back up. He needs it desperately. Oscar's going to be going down, and Robs can't get out. He got the one kill, but they needed a bit more. Forrest now looking for a third. Having already opened up the bomb site, I mean, Mousesports might even think about saving some of these guns.
They have to stick around and see if they can get something, at least right now. But I think you're right. I think if they don't get a kill in the next 3-4 seconds, and actually they find Forrest, but the trades, and now, yeah, now they need to bail out. No kits, they're not making any actual progress, even though they found one kill, but it was a trade. So save that op, save the M4. You have the full losing bonus. You can buy into the next round, and I think they will.
That's Mousesports losing 6 rounds in a row. I mean, this was 5-1,
yeah,
and now it's about to be 7-5. I just didn't see this coming at all.
No, well, the tough part is the second op has gone quiet. It's Chris J who's delivering with it. It's Oscar with that op on the rotate, right? He had that shot on towards lower ramp, but that's one that we see him hit all the time.
Yeah.
This time it just swings a little bit wide, and Forrest obviously just getting massively aggressive. Great job from him to clear things out. Utility plays perfectly to slow down rotations. And NiP have a firm grip of this match. Look at Rez, almost $13,000.
Yeah, quite the luxury. See what they could do. A bit of a smoke there as they try and maybe set up for a boost on the other side. There is someone waiting for them, so they got to be very careful about that. Chris, though, is going to be falling back. He was actually on top of the train for a minute. A lot of success in the first half after a really bad start.
Raz has been tagged up. Down to 16. Sonny's in ladder room. We haven't really seen NiP, because they've had so much success towards Ivy, we haven't had to see them mess with anyone pushed up in ladder room, have we? I think we've only seen like 2 or 3 times that Mousesports have done it, but NiP's never really attacked from that location, and again, it looks like they might just largely ignore it. A lot of massive bodies coming out of T-main, wall of smokes being set up. Sonny with the opening kill. It's Get Right coming down ladder, and now that becomes so difficult. That's another front they have to worry about, and this is going to be easy for Sonny. They're going to be distracted with Chris J as he goes down, but Sonny just needs to live, and that's the bomb down, doing all the damage. And as you can see, when the CTs control ladder room, it's just a line across the map that's so difficult to get past.
Yeah, absolutely cutting off that offense. It will be a final kill for Sonny there at the end. Quad for him. Very, very good stuff once again for the Finnish player. It's been a little bit of a quiet game for him. I'm not sure if it's just because he's been playing Pop Dog and it's been a bit weird, but certainly...
I mean, it was the ops, right? It was like the success of Chris J and Oscar early on that gave him that 5-1 lead, and then everyone's been quiet since then.
Yeah, good point. So we're moving into the 14th round.
I will say for Sonny, I mean, I know for me, when he kind of came on my radar in Penta, you know, middle of last year, was watching him on maps like Train, where he just walks out upper and finds kills. So, yeah. I mean, the T side of Train is where he really came on my radar and was really cool to watch.
A lot of damage. Get Right there to help his teammate out. They are very low on health, but that's a great Molotov. Oscar going to put up the smoke, and Try and see if he can flash his way through. Get Right pushing in with almost no health at all. What an unbelievable risk, but it actually pays off. Now he's in the C connector, and he should be able to get into a good position from here on out. The bomb is still being called into the bomb site, so they got this much quicker than they had imagined. Draken trying to fall back, maybe get the position. He's going to take down Oscar. Such a good shot, and one kill here for Get Right. Certainly going to win them the round. It's going to be Sunny going down. They just could not see that coming. 5-2. No way out at this point.
That's a brilliant round. That's so nice from NiP. And actually, it was so effective that you almost felt like they took it too fast because they still had to bring the bomb over. And at that point, all of Mousesports is rotated. And you're like, oh, this is actually kind of awkward. NiP has to hit this bomb site now that the bomb is here. They have to do it all over again against 4 defenders. Really well done from Get Right, clearing out connector and coming back to it. And Mousesports is just absolutely clueless. They are reeling at the moment. This NiP offense has really come alive. What a run it's been. 7-1 run for the Ninjas.
Now up to 8 rounds, moving into the last round of the half, and it's yeah, it's quite. They seem quite out of stuff at the moment. And Mousesports, they saved the M4, or sorry, the MP9. They saved the AWP, but they're not going to have much else in this round. Maybe now would be the time for the shotgun.
Yeah, you can't really argue against it, can you? It's like, all right, just go for it. But the AWP is passed over. Chris is going to be back on his SMG. We've seen him do some work with that. We'll see how it goes this time. Oscar, we have seen him as well miss a couple critical shots.
It hasn't been the classic Oscar game that we've become very much used to seeing. Had a bit of a harder time on the last map and on this one. Chris with the MP7 though, which is something that we've been talking about. It's been sort of a loose talking point in the past. He has just had a more success than I feel comfortable with that kind of SMG.
Yeah, it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. The tough part now is, look at this defense. If you look at the minimap, 4 players really dedicated to that outer train yard. They're all the way at the farthest lane away from the B bomb site, which is where all of NiP is going. Dennis just putting pressure on Ivy, and only 1 kill for Rops there. You couldn't expect much more. Dennis has held the defense here for about as long as he could. That's been great from him. But now he's got a tough decision to make. He's really got to juggle when he pushes forward if he falls back and tries to flank, but that kill's going to help out. Now he's going to go quickly as Forrest goes down watching the back.
See, he's already been found, Chris, so he's going to make his way in the other side. That's actually very good because he catches Dennis at the perfect timing, fighting to get 1 more round on the board here as Mousesports. 2 versus 3. Can they get the retake? There's a headshot from Sunny. It's looking good, and Draken knows he has to get back in the action before they get on that defuse. Oh, the leg shot through the smoke is not going to be enough. Sunny will still take him down, and they're going to win the round. 8-7 here in favor of NiP. Let's check in with Stunner and see what it's like at halftime.
It is definitely halftime, Anders. We've made it to that point in the game. And with that, of course, I'm looking to my left. I see Fnatic and Navi setting up, getting ready for the next best of 3. But right now, I can look behind me and I can see Rops looking cool as a cucumber. And if you don't know what that means, Jason, perhaps Anders can explain it to you.
Do you know what that means, Anders?
I have absolutely no idea what it means.
I don't know why he called me out on that one.
Yeah, I mean...
I know what it means.
Okay, explain it to me.
Cucumbers are usually cool. Like they're like he's not unnerved. He's very calm. He's very ready for it. He's focused.
Cucumbers are usually cool.
Well, you can also do Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're usually cool. I don't really eat cucumbers myself, but that's what it means. It means he's calm. He's collected. He's ready to go. You can also say
cool part.
Cool as the other side of the pillow. It's a popular one. That's my personal favorite.
That's your all right. Those are just all. They're all terrible sayings. I'm not gonna lie.
No, cool as the other side of the pillow is great.
Is it? Well, I'm gonna have to leave you alone with that.
Shout out to my boy Stuart Scott.
All right, listen, we're gonna have to come up with something better. We'll put an effort in. Stunner's been fired in the meantime. She can't.
It was only a matter of time, wasn't it?
It was. Smoke and kit on Draken. There is no Molotov, which is always something that's fun. I always love voting for that on the T-side pistol on Train. I feel like Mousesports need a big win in this round. I feel like they're going to be a little bit frustrated. Huge win on Nuke. Very tough game, and what a headshot coming out from Get Right. Sunny didn't even see what hit him. Get Right falling all the way back.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot from Get Right.
It's been a long decline right now for Mousesports. If you take the second map into this one as well,
Yep.
it's been sort of a steady ride all the way down.
Oh, Chris getting tagged up as well through the smoke, and he eventually does go down. No success, and actually the outside defense hasn't really rotated either. Still 2 players here. They didn't bite on this fake whatsoever. Rez with a headshot, but Oscar's providing an opportunity. They just need to stay alive. No need to take these fights until they get closer. And Oscar now in a 1 versus 4. And even though there's low HP players, it's not going to happen. This bump's going out all across the board. As NiP 9-7 now with that pistol round win, and a good chance to escalate the situation.
Yeah, that kind of a win is absolutely massive. Gives them a chance to build up that CT side economy. No bomb plant either from Mousesports, so they're going to invest into this round, but that means if NiP can win this one, they're going to be so far ahead all of a sudden.
If they win it clean, although look at the aggression, completely blind. It's a well-timed flashbang. Force is down to 27. He's got one of the M4s, and Chris still occupying while the rest of his teammates push up. That's a great headshot, and the follow finally cleans out Forrest, and Chris has bought them a lifeline, a 5-on-2, and surely NiP cannot get back into it.
What an unreal impact to have in a round with a Deagle. You just run out and control the whole bomb site on your own. Give it up to Chris J. Sunny may have picked up the triple here, but he did like that one little bunny jump to get into position first time around. And then, yeah, he was just so zoned in. This is beautiful.
He dictated everything.
Yeah. I run the show now. I'm the captain. Take care of it. 9-8. Huge turnaround for Mousesports. That might have given them a chance to win the series right here.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for them to come back into this. Get right, here's the footsteps. There's a player in ladder as well. The nade is out. Not as much damage as he'd like, and actually he's not expecting them to be this fast towards the upper ramp. He does get the initial kill, but no chance of a follow-up, and Chris watching the flank. That was, we heard the noise, right? Just the one shot firing off.
We heard the noise. We saw the blood on the wall. We can put 2 and 2 together. No CSI show, but I mean still.
Ooh, all right, now it's getting dicey. 2 players locked into the bomb site, and that's a big dink that Dennis just got. He can press the envelope here, and he is. We're not expecting this. He needs that kill, and he gets it. Can't transfer over. Almost a return of fortunes, and Chris still watching the flank, still doing work with that Deagle. Got excited. There was a chance there for NiP, but it disappeared. The door shut pretty quick, didn't it?
Yeah, Dennis trying his best to fight with that 5-7 at close range, but not this time. So it will be another round here for Mousesports, tying up the scoreline, making it even at 9-9. They get to save the AK-47 and the M4. And Forrest gets to save the Deagle. Ready and waiting. Top of the scoreboard right now is Chris with 17 and Sunny right behind him at 15. So those are the 2 leading the charge right now.
Actually, Chris, Sunny, and Rops are all above every NiP player. The NiP scoreline is very much more consistent from 10 to 12. So one round NiP is going to have to sit out with just the USPs, Deagle armor on Forrest from the previous, and all before they can get the rifles on the board. We'll see if they can do any damage here. This offense so far from Mousesports has been, you know, starting in that second round, they've been just pretty much confident just bullying their way into these bomb sites, just really kind of stepping up the pace, stepping up the aggression levels. And it's yielded them pretty nice results.
Yeah, it's what you want to see out of a team like Mousesports at the current stage. They have just looked so good, so you don't want to see them sort of fumbling around too much. Forrest already grenaded down a lot from the beginning. He's going to be dropped next in line. It's 10-9. Mousesports now back in the lead here with the game as we are entering the final third of the second half. And I mean, this is... I don't know who's going to win this now. Like, Mousesports seem to be revived all of a sudden in the second half, doing much better winning that second round.
For those joining us late into this series, this is the third map. It's the Group B winners match. The winner of this goes on to the playoffs. The loser will drop down and have to play SK in a best-of-3 as well. Not a great place to be. Rops take control of these box halls. He does that very quickly. That's a great amount of map control. That's very early on that NiP has to rotate Drakenback with the AWP. And all of Mousesports is here. This is going to be a hit. It's just about when it comes through. Chris takes a good amount of damage. That's a nice find for Get Right. Actually, still tags him up even more, and here it comes.
Draken missing one opportunity. The smoke is up right in his eyes. Can't see a single thing. Tries to see if he can get the shot in above. This is very dangerous right now, and they're pushing up. Mousesports applying the pressure while they're trying to get the bomb down. This is a very good idea. Bomb already planted, and now Sunny right in top, trying to get the kill. He's going to take down one, and the Molotov will follow it up on Get Right. Somehow it's a double kill. And that leaves them in a 3-on-3. Forrest hitting one more headshot. Sunny's still alive down there. Eventually, after getting a triple, they take him down. But it will be the retake coming in. No kit picked up, but I believe they should have just enough time for it anyway. Very, very close. A lot of pressure applied for Mousesports, but NiP managed to fight their way through.
Yeah, what a hectic battle up towards the choke point. You almost felt like Mousesports if they had actually just alleviated some of the pressure, right? You have 2 to 3 players being hectic, being crazy up there behind the smoke. Let the rest of them fall back and get into safety. Everyone's kind of fighting at long range out in the open. Set up some crossfires while they're buying you time that close up and that aggressively. Still a tough scenario, almost making it in. I mean, Draken's going to be, you know, shaking that round off. He missed a couple shots that really could have helped them out, really made that easier. So the money is not built up whatsoever for NiP. Mousesports have another buffer behind this. NiP need a clean win.
Still falling back pretty quickly, Get Right, and the last time, as soon as that happens, Dragon gets called in, which is pretty common stuff. NiP haven't really tried for any pushes into T-main, into Ivy, or anything like that.
I think they're going to wait until they get some economy built up to kind of go that deep into the playbook. As well, you can see everyone's starting to lean towards the inner bomb site. Forrest and Dennis playing at the bomb train outside, so they can have a quick rotation. Again, Mousesports going to challenge here. Draken is going to be blocked off by the Molotov, and still they haven't come down the ramp. But, I mean, this is dangerous. There's 4 players on this defense here for NiP, and they should be able to hold. Off angle is busted up, and Draken again missing a sitter, but the rifles are there to cover up for his mistakes. Decent trades into a 2-on-2.
Dennis, he could have got caught then. That was a little bit scary. Chris planting right on the other side of the smoke, and Dennis right in. This is perfect timing, and he gets the kill. Now Oscar is alone. 1 versus 2. He takes it down, but the refrag is there instantly. Rez coming down that ramp, and that will be the defuse, obviously, saving the AWP. I think that one grenade that Draken puts out, like, he gets no kills, but he puts up a Molotov behind the smoke.
At upper ramp?
Yeah, that really makes a big difference in terms of Mousesports being able to reinforce the bomb site from that angle.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's certainly, because it was just, I think it was just 1 player, so he's kind of designed to be the one player who's like the off angle. All the attention is elsewhere. He gets you that 1 kill that allows everyone to stream in. So yeah, he got negated a little bit, but I'll tell you right now, the Molotov's great, but you need to be able to hit one of those shots at the op. That's 2 rounds now, or just even just 1 kill, because it's the difference between them having a little bit more money. I mean, they're on the ropes again. They can be reset now. 4 players under $200.
He has been struggling a bit, hasn't he? Draken, not far behind on the scoreboard, but these are some of the critical rounds.
On the other hand, for Mousesports, this has been a very unimaginative T-side so far. Outside of the fast paces when they had all the economic advantages, it's been straight inner hits. Dennis is here, Get Right is here. This time no op to back it up. We'll see how these 2 fare, and they're playing it far, far back as well. So when the Molotovs come in, I wonder if they're going to push forward. They've got to be careful. There's Dennis doing some damage on a Chris J. Can't get the follow-up. Nade is out from Get Right, but he's got to be passive. He's got to make sure they cannot get all the way down. Tense situation for NiP, and they're losing players. They're bleeding players as they rotate in, and Mousesports finally going to wear this down, and they will break NiP.
Yeah. Grez and Get Right already backing up, trying to see if they can get out of the bomb site. Chris wants to hunt, and so does Sunny, hoping to find somebody. Very good stuff coming out of Mousesports, and I'm confused about NiP holding that far back. Like, especially because they had almost no utility. I'm
wondering if maybe they thought it was going to be in a round where Mousesports is on pistols.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have the op as the rotator either. They had Dennis with the other M4. So I'm thinking they wanted the op away from that in case the pistols are pushing up, a little bit more wieldy to handle that kind of aggression.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too, because you could hold pretty far back if you have a lot of grenades, right? If you can use the Molotovs to delay the bomb plant, to do all these things, then it makes a bit more sense. But they actually had next to nothing, and that was not the kind of defense that we were hoping for at least from NiP's point of view. 11-11, and as you were pointing out, because even the rounds that they won, the 2 in a row here, it was defuses, it was down to, you know, very close 1v1s, 2v2s, so NiP just don't have the money to fight with, and that's going to be a problem in this round, trying to see if they can double up on the aggression, pushing into the brown holes. Robs has already moved around. Can Draken even get back out alive now? I'm not sure. He's actually managed to push around the corner, taking down Oscar, and that was a bit of a twist that I wasn't expecting.
That's really cool. He knows if he comes back through the smoke towards the bomb site, it's kind of a gamble whether Rops sees him first or not, so goes forward where he knows he can catch someone off guard. Now Rops, this is where he wants to be, dueling into this bomb site. Open space, this is playing to his strengths. Get right beneath him. He's got to peek out sometime soon there. Oh no, he doesn't even get one. That's huge, but Dennis, 2 kills. The 5-7 is able to outduel the AK-47 up top, and it's a 3-on-2. One player, Chris J, at 20 HP. NiP, they absolutely would love to convert this round.
Dennis sneaking in. How has he done this? Taking down Sunny, turning around for the quad kill. Unbelievable. As soon as Get Right fluffs that spray, you think, that's it. You know, now they're done. And then Dennis just comes out of nowhere.
How does he win with the 5-7? 2 long-range fights against some of the better players. I mean, against Rops. Oh, right under the edge of the smoke. That is beautiful. Even at least Get Right distracted Stiko long enough for that, but great round from Dennis.
Yeah, that's actually massive because Mousesports had just managed to put them down, you know, in the eco territory, and now they're sort of back again.
And NiP was essentially knocked out before that win. I mean, after that bye, they would have had like nothing, like sitting right around $2,000, right? So then it's just like, oh, we have to save one more, and all of a sudden Mousesports has a really great lead that you're fighting to claw back to. So, one more buy for the T side for the offense, and NiP is going to have 5 M4s. So advantage goes towards Oscar with that AWP. No one's going to really be available to duel him at range and try and pick him off. So he'll have relative freedom.
He's been good on that B ramp, just holding on. This is great. The rest with a triple spray down. Mousesports.
Oh no, you hate to see it. Everything they had poured into ladder room. 3 players down with no response, and that is exactly what NiP needed down the stretch. A clean win, a solid win, one that allows them to build up money, and they've got it. It was what they couldn't get earlier, and Rez delivers.
Did you ever play the game Lemmings, Moses?
No, but I know what they are.
Yeah, you gotta build little bridges for them, and then if you don't, they all just fall down into the lava or something. Yeah, that's what's happening.
It's a bit grim.
We've
seen it a couple times today, though, haven't we? FaZe had a little bit of a lemming moment through the smoke on Overpass. Now we're seeing a little bit of a lemming moment for Mousesports coming online. And they're always at, like, the most important buy you've had in some time, aren't they?
It feels like it, right? My God, that's, I mean, great defense put up by Rez, who's, I mean, he was great in the last map, and he certainly stepped it up here as well. Second on the scoreboard for his team behind Dennis, who's got 20. Long-range fight, and somehow Sunny gets a reply in on Get Right. That's kind of ridiculous, but still should be easy. Holding on to it against the unarmored target. Stiko gets the bomb plant, and that is mission accomplished as far as Mousesports are concerned. Needing that $800 bonus so they can get a little bit of a better buy in the next round. Forrest will clean it up at the end, but it will be 14-11. This is, I don't know, this has been I mean, I think all these maps have been a little bit weird, you know? It's been some big turnarounds.
I mean, at least this one's close, right? Like Nuke was a wash for Mousesports. Overpass was a beatdown for the Ninjas. Here, I mean, both of these teams have had to fight to stay in it and to claw back in it, and at the moment, NiP seems to have done just enough to turn the corner. Well, one last, I mean, we're going to see buys for Mousesports no matter what for the rest of this game, no matter how much money they have. But this certainly could be the best one we see at the end here, these last 2 rounds, if NiP is able to win this.
Draken, who's been missing a couple of shots, not letting that get to his confidence, still tries to go for all the way to jump up the ramp.
I think they heard his scope, though.
Could have been, but what are they going to do about it? He's actually moving in, and it's going to miss the shot, but Forrest did get the kill on Sunny, so I guess that sort of makes up for it. And Get Right, they walk right into the line of fire. That second shot was just casualty. Robs going down immediately, and that will be 15-11. Mousesports. I feel like we've seen Mousesports be in this position before on Train.
I was just about to mention this problem with Train for Mousesports. You can trace it all the way back to the major qualifier for Boston. Remember when they dropped it to QB Fire?
Very true.
They had that like 13-2 lead after the CT side switched over to T side and ended up losing. I can't remember if it was in overtime or anything, but I mean, they haven't really had a great game plan. A lot of this, especially towards the end when they're low on economy, it's just like go towards the inner bomb site, cross your fingers, hope something happens. And NiP is loving it at the moment.
Yeah, they haven't quite figured out how to crack playing that T side. Last time I saw them play on Train, the solution was pushing out in that A yard and doing it quickly. But see this time. Sunny's got a kill on Rez. Trying to hold on to this and maybe put us into overtime if they can. And NiP, they've been a team that's been struggling for a long time now. This kind of win would be really big for them on LAN. Get right sneaking up on the high ground. He's going to be able to flank them very quickly. They must be calling it in by now. Not sure they even noticed. Get right. Is he going to be there on time? The bomb is being planted. He's going to stop it. Taking down Sunny. That's a big kill. And now 4 versus 3, and that is going to shock Mousesports to the core. They thought they had this round. Robs is going to be going down next. Get right. Out of nowhere, doing all the work. There's the triple, looking to close it out. The quad kill. And he comes right back in. A couple of back-to-back great rounds from Get Right, landing him at 20 kills. And NiP gonna take down Mousesports. Took all 3 maps, but they did it at the end. What a shock.
What a sequence of rounds for the Legend down the stretch. It felt like everyone kind of chimed in when they needed it. Rez had some big rounds. Dennis is the ones who got him to the finish line, but Get Right seemed to carry them across it. And Chris, I mean, good cause to be scratching his head down the stretch here because they seem to have had that in their control 2 or 3 separate times throughout that map, and each time they dropped the ball.
Yeah, that's very frustrating, and I do think that they must have a feeling as well that sometimes we can't dig our way out when we're on the T side. Like there's something that's missing, you know?
I do like, did you notice Kerrigan put a little bit of pressure on Mousesports to start this event? Did you see that little interview he gave where like this is the event that Mousesports has to win if they want to prove that they have what it takes? Like, you know, just throw, you know, not necessarily true per se, but it does put a little bit of pressure on you. Even if you're like, as a player, you're like, yeah, that's not true, but you know.
Yeah, a little mental mind game.
You either say F that guy and then you have to win, or or you're like, he's right, I have to win.
Yeah, I actually like that. It's a good mind game. Kerrigan with his own version of 4D chess. We do have the analysts with us, and did anyone pick NiP? I think no.
We had 3 Mousesports on the desk actually.
That's your fault, Alex. Usually you go against us.
That's true. What have I done? That could have been 2 out of 2.
Don't let him talk to you about like that, dude.
Look, okay, you saw Chris J's face. I wasn't expecting it. Neither were they. Thank you so much, Anders and Jason. That was a lovely game to get to witness, especially considering the whole nuke debacle. They get the first map. You must have been thinking you've got that open and shut case, Jason.
Yeah, I thought we were going to go off camera.
Yeah, so did I.
I wasn't even really listening to the question, but yes.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes, reverse sweep from NiP, right? Craziness. Can we? Yep. Hello.
Just leave, Jason, please.
Just get up and leave. I don't think they can hear us.
No, I think they're gonna be heading your way soon. I think we just heard about that. So you guys are good. Take it away.
Awesome. You know, it's smooth as butter. It really is, truly. Butter is always smooth.
That's not nice.
Buttery smooth. Mousesports. Okay, so they've just descended into the depths, conceding that full series, and will be playing versus SK Gaming in an elimination best of 3. That's something to look forward to. But right now, I'm looking forward to talking to Sean Gers and Janko Paunovic about what the hell just happened. They win nuke, Sean. They're looking good. We come into Overpass. We're expecting to see this one kind of open and shut case. Where does it all go wrong? Spirals.
I mean, their buy patterns on CT side were just so weird. Oscar was using the shotgun to start, and they just couldn't get their footing. NiP's T side, they kept abusing long A, and we just never saw Mousesports adapt to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very good example of the difference between Mousesports on maps that they are very good at and maps that they need more practice on. You know how on Mirage, for example, and Nuke, as we've seen, their playbook is so deep, the players are so comfortable in their roles that they can adapt on the fly so quickly, while on Overpass, to begin with, you know, some strategies or setups are not perfect, and then even when those setups don't work, when you need to adapt or adjust on the fly, that's where they, you know, really hit the wall.
They really did. I mean, I just want to kind of touch a little bit more on the veto itself. Is Mousesports map pool truly limited to that of Nuke and Mirage, and therefore you're always going to see them uncomfortable in a best of 3?
Yeah, but the thing is they get that free map all the time. So any series, they're capable of winning. They have the skilled players to, you know, steal an opponent's map.
And look at this, taking a look at the scoreboard. Now, I haven't had that up in front of me while watching. I didn't quite realize just how influential the veterans have been. I mean, we always say Forrest and Get Right, like in a dream scenario, it would kind of like Rez, Draken, and then a Forrest or a Dennis Get Right doing the necessary deeds. He's doing a fantastic job. Look at them.
Yeah, they were like doing really well on top of the scoreboard. But when you look at the team as a whole, actually, everyone's been contributing more or less the same. Draken only falling slightly behind, right? And that's what you love to see. That's what you want to see from a team. It means everyone's doing their job. Really, you know, everything's going according to plan, more or less, obviously, and you come out with a win, because having one player have an amazing game and that being the main reason of your win, sure, like you always want the win, but that's not really consistent. That's not something you can rely on. While everyone doing their job, that's more reliable.
Yes, and I have something that I always rely on putting a smile on my face, and that's grabbing a player from the winning team. It sounds like we've got Draken waiting backstage to chat to us. Here he is.
Hello, guys.
Hey, man. Hey. So other than brushing up on your geometry and your various angles, what is it that you've been kind of spending most of your time with Dennis? Because we have no answers. There's never been a kind of clear statement of how's it going with a new leadership change.
I mean, I felt like we didn't really have the leader character, you know, with the Exist. Dennis is more of a have that personality, you know.
Sure.
And I don't know, it's just more aggressive, and I feel like me and Dennis and everyone is more on the same page now, you know. And I mean, we didn't really have a problem with Exist either, but you know, if you can grab Dennis, you grab Dennis. So
you've done fantastic as well, securing a spot in the playoffs. So a big congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
You get a day off as well. I mean, Sean, you have any questions for Draken?
Yeah, I mean, like, you guys look really strong right now across the board. You have a lot of really fast-paced strategies. Is that something Dennis brought into the team?
I mean, yeah, we had it with Exist as well, but I feel like we have more of it now with Dennis. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yanko, you got anything?
Do you feel that because, you know, before NiP was considered to be a little bit one-dimensional in some of the setups on the CT side, or the way you play T side, with the addition of Dennis and Pida, and have you guys been working on that, like having more different styles, not just relying on like individual plays, but also having some more set strategies?
Yeah, you mean a CT?
Yeah, both, really.
Yeah, I mean, CT we have a lot of setups, and terrorist as well. I mean, we haven't like practiced that long if you look at other teams, so we're still like developing something, and I feel like the last 2-3 weeks or something is when we really got, you know, the knowing of how we want to play and how we want to approach the game. But I feel like we have a good, you know, really slow tactics, and then you have the aggressiveness with everything that comes with Dennis.
Yeah, and just a final question, perhaps a little bit of a cheeky one, but I'm just interested because it's something that we speculated about on the desk, but with Masters, your coach can talk more, right? You can talk in the freeze time as well. Has Pitta been helping you out more than he typically does?
Yeah, I think he talks quite a lot in the freeze time. Not so much, let's say like 1 of 5 rounds he says something good, you know, and he comes up with a strat. But Dennis really had the good read on Mouse this train T-half, at least. It was
fire.
Yeah, it was fire.
It was. Dude, I'll let you get out of here and go enjoy that sunshine, because you are done for the day. Go get your bandana back on and all that good stuff, and step out into the Marseille sunshine. We've got 25 degrees every day. That's a little weather report for you. So if you come into Marseille, grab tickets and come get a tan with us. Look at me.
Yeah.
I was like a milk bottle before I got
tan,
here.
one would say.
Yeah, some would say. That's the power of Marseille. We do want to just break it down in the more kind of gritty details. And I know, Yanko, you do have something for us. Which map are you talking about here?
Yes, it's Train, probably the most relevant one in the series. And it's, you know, in conjunction with what I asked Draken about changing styles, because this was a very important round. NiP won the previous gun round, and this is for them not to get reset, really. And you can see that in the beginning of the round, Draken just throws a smoke, throws a flash. He's basically using this to pin Oscar to connector, because as you can see, Oscar is that rotator player who's supposed to help Props, and he wants to keep him towards A so that he, with the rest of the team, can set up for that B execute, where Get Right is trying to secure brown holes, as he has been doing every round. So this is important, because right now Rops he thinks it's just another default round. He only knows Get Right does the same thing every round. You can see them setting up for the nades. Draken is maybe a couple of seconds late here, but they still go with the smokes. Another interesting thing is here, you can see the smokes are falling very deep, and also the Molotovs are falling. But before they pop, Getrat is already going in because he understands the relevance of timing here, and he catches Oscar a little bit off guard, does a lot of damage, and that really allows them to push towards the side. Rops is in a more passive angle. I think in this situation he probably fell all the way back because support was really far out, but that allows Forest to gain ground on higher and really get those 2 kills and gain ground, which is the most important thing when you go for B on train. It's not about planting the bomb and killing the one guy, it's about going deep and really making it difficult for the CTs and making it awkward for them to go for the retake. You see Forest, even though he dies, he just buys so much time, really does a bit more damage, and now leaves his team in a 3v2 situation where Mouse is just forced to save.
So I guess, you know, kind of the long story short of what you're looking for on those B takes is that the paranoia it causes by being pushed up, because suddenly you're checking everything as opposed to just all eyes locked at the end of that train.
Exactly. The problem is the CTs, when they have utility, there's not that many places to hide when you're on the T side after the bomb plant if you don't push out. Behind pop, inside, you can always get like mollied out, you can smoke off higher if someone wants to defend from brown holes, so that's, you basically need to go for that push. And this was also an example of NiP having like a proper elaborate strategy and also masking it to an extent that it's not that easy. You know, you're looking at the minimap and you're thinking, yeah, but nothing is going on outside, you know, for 10 seconds, why isn't Oscar already on B? Well, there's a bit more to it than just that round itself shows. And
in the blink of an eye, it's hard to miss. Sean, is that something that you've kind of identified quite often, both in gameplay and watching?
Yeah, I think throughout the entire half, NiP did an excellent job. But like Yanko said, they pulled Oscar away from the connector position towards outside and then hit inside. They even did it on rounds where Get Right would lurk behind Pop. We saw Rops top of the bomb train. It looked like a round NiP was going to win, and actually fell like out of their favor a little bit. Yeah. They had the round where Get Right pushed up sidewalk and went into the connector. So they were abusing Rops at inner, and Get Right was a key player in that the entire game.
And lastly, this was a map where Mousesports basically won both pistols. I mean, they lost the second one, but converted the force buy and had a good start again. So NiP on train had in both halves to claw their way back in just pure gun rounds. And in the first half, another reason for the strong T side is, you know, once they got the initial reset, Mouse struggled to get that double op setup online.
Yeah, didn't quite work out for Mousesports. Lots of eyes on them, perhaps feeling that pressure. And they will be playing again. We'll be seeing Mousesports versus SK in an elimination bout to get to those playoffs. That is one I cannot wait to see. For now, though, NiP are going to be comfortable. Day off in the sunshine for them. And coming up after the break, another battle that you will be remembering, another best of 3. We're going to be seeing the Fnatic, the Swedes that made such a splash just last month, of course, a cheeky $1 million in their back pocket over a month of gameplay. And now they're looking to continue this shape of form, but there's one man and a mission ahead against them. It will be Simple and Na'Vi taking them on after the break.